Why is it so hard to say no? Whether it's a favor from a coworker, an invitation to a last-minute meeting, or even those non-stop notifications pulling you in different directions, saying no often feels uncomfortable. The reason is simple. We don't want to disappoint people, right? We fear conflict, or we feel guilty, or worse, we worry about missing out on opportunities. But here's the kicker. Every time you say yes to a low-priority task, you're actually saying no to something much more important. Think of your time and energy as this circle. It's finite. You've got 24 hours in a day, no more, no less. Every time you take on something that isn't aligned with your priorities, you're shrinking the amount of time you have for what truly matters. When you say yes to distractions, unnecessary meetings, or tasks you don't really need to be doing, this circle starts filling up. Pretty soon, there's no room left for the stuff that pushes you forward, your goals, your vision, your personal growth. Let's dive into our first scenario. You're deep in focus on a critical task. Maybe you're writing a report, coding, or just trying to get through your emails, and suddenly someone walks in. Hey, can I grab you for 5 minutes? I've got a quick question. Sure. What's up? Sound familiar? You said yes because it was just 5 minutes, right? But guess what? That 5-minute distraction has a ripple effect. It takes about 23 minutes on average to get back to full focus after a distraction. So that quick question actually cost you half an hour, maybe more. Here's another one. You're at work, and someone emails you asking if you can attend a meeting. It's not directly related to your work, but you don't want to seem unhelpful. So, you say yes. Before you know it, you're sitting in a 60-minute meeting that could have easily been an email or handled by someone else. This is what I call busy work. It's not meaningful, but it consumes time. Now, imagine you had said no to that meeting. What could you have achieved in that hour? Could you have finished an important project, worked on something you actually care about, maybe even gone home earlier? So, how do you actually say no without feeling like a bad person? Let's look at some strategies. 1. No with a solution. Instead of just saying no outright, offer an alternative. For example, I can't join the meeting, but I can send you my notes afterward. This way, you're still offering value without sacrificing your own priorities. 2. Buffer responses. Use buffer responses like, let me think about it and get back to you. This gives you time to evaluate whether the task is a priority without saying yes on the spot. 3. The polite decline. Sometimes a simple, I don't have the bandwidth right now, but thank you for thinking of me, is all it takes. Trust me, people respect honesty more than you might think. Let's take a real-world example. Warren Buffett, one of the richest men in the world. He's known for his strategy of saying no. In fact, he says, the difference between successful people and very successful people is that very successful people say no to almost everything. There's a famous story where Buffett tells someone to write down their top 25 goals. Then, he says to circle the top 5. What about the other 20? He says you should actively avoid them because they're distractions from what truly matters. Think about it. Saying no to those other 20 things is the reason he has the time and energy to focus on the top 5. It's not that those other things aren't important, they're just not priorities right now. Now, let's flip the script. Sometimes the person you need to say no to is yourself. We've all been there. You sit down to get something done, but 10 minutes later you're deep into a rabbit hole of cat videos. Saying no to your own impulses, whether it's Netflix, social media, or even minor chores, can be just as powerful. Set boundaries for yourself. Use techniques like time blocking or the Pomodoro method to say, I'll focus for 25 minutes, then I'll take a break. That's a productive way to manage those urges. At the end of the day, saying no isn't about being negative. It's about protecting your time and focusing on what truly matters, whether it's avoiding distractions, cutting out busy work, or even managing your own impulses. Saying no is an essential productivity booster. So, the next time someone asks you to take on something that doesn't align with your priorities, remember, every no is a yes to something more important.